Peter Stone, one of the most anti-hero Degrassi students of all time. Is he supposed to be hated? Is he supposed to be loved? Is he supposed to be hated and then loved, or loved then hated? Who knows? Who cares? Actually, I'll tell you why we, as a part of the Degrassi community, hate him so much. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond, welcoming you to another Degrassi character study. And today we look at Peter Stone, why we hate him. Peter was introduced in season 5 of Degrassi. This was the season after the famous Rick Murray situation. And Emma came off of a timeline that basically she was just porous and all that. When you look at Emma, it's basically the fact that, you know, was Emma really that bad of a person in season 4? No, not really. She just came off the fact that she was basically in a fog in a sense, and basically she went after Jay and all that. Like Emma didn't break off with Jay because of Jay's involvement in the fact that Rick shot Jimmy. That wouldn't be known till the next episode, Eye of the Tiger. Emma broke up with Jay over the famous like, "You gave me a social disease." Emma was not being boy crazy, and she didn't really care about a relationship after Secret. So basically, in season 5, she meets a nice boy named Peter, and she introduces herself in Strange Things. She goes, "Hi, Peter. I'm Degrassi. Welcome to Emma," something like that. Yeah, I think she said, "Hey, Peter. I'm Degrassi. Welcome to Emma," and then he welcomes her back, saying, "Hi, Degrassi. How are you doing?" So anyway, basically, Peter is introduced to Degrassi and all that, and Emma has a crush on Peter. But Peter sees eyes for Manny, mostly because Manny wanted to be an actress. I think Peter wanted to take advantage of Manny being an actress and all that. So basically, Peter wants to go after Manny. But hold on a minute. That's not all that it's cracked up to be. I did a Reddit post a while ago that said Peter's biggest negative points. And I gave 5 very key points. All that. I gave Peter 5 famous faux pas. 1 was blackmailing Manny with a topless video so that he can go out with her. 2, blackmailing her again by giving the whole school a said video. Basically, point 1 was that basically he made the video of Manny and all that, hoping that said that I won't release this unless you go out with me. And Manny said that basically that you shouldn't go after me. You should go after Emma. She wants you. And then basically blackmailing her by money. He wants to get money from Manny, not to send the video to the whole school. And of course, Manny tries to get out of her cosmetic surgery thing. She needs all the money. She needs cash, not credit. So basically, Peter then gives the video to the whole school and all that. Number 3 is framing Sean with drugs so that he could stay with Emma. 4 is being involved in a street racing accident when he street raced Sean. Peter did get punished by this, but very little. And also getting Darcy to send videos to that creepy Adams and taking advantage of her. Someone said that, what about him staying on the intro in season 10 when he was barely seen? Somebody actually said that his biggest faux pas was meth, but I said, I don't think he did anything harmful to people, though. It was basically to himself. And then Self Skeleton said, leaving Darcy passed out on a couch at a party around a crowd of strangers, and then she was raped. And then someone said, seeing Darcy and Zoe's sexual assault episodes made me more aware of not just myself, but other people at parties. And the funny thing is that he found Darcy on the couch and crawled into bed well after the fact. So yeah, so Peter did a lot of bad things and all that. So anyway, as I said, his two biggest mistakes were basically in the season 5 episode that Manny tries desperately to get Emma to be with Peter, but Peter wants to be with Manny. So basically, Peter wants Manny to give him $3,000 and for everything, but unfortunately, she can't get the cash without her father knowing. So basically, he sends the video to everyone, and basically, Manny is slut shamed and all that. And basically, her dad kicks her out. I think, well, I know about the acting and all that, but I think there were other facts, and he didn't want to say it. So basically, he said that unless you give in to our demands, I don't want to see you. And and Manny stands up to him. She gets kicked out though. Emma decides to take her in. She gets the okay from Snake and Spike, obviously, and basically Emma tells Manny no secrets between us. Right, and then we learn that Peter gets in trouble with Hatzalakos, but in a more different way. We find out that Hatzalakos is actually Peter's mom. What? How do you know that? Manny and Emma both didn't know about that. They actually said, wait a minute, he's Hatzalakos' son? So they didn't know that. Maybe Emma probably would have steered clear because of Hatzalakos. Who knows? So anyway, Peter gets in a lot of trouble. I think off screen he gets a lot of detentions and all that, but it seems like he got off scot free. So practically, you know, Emma decides to take it upon herself to get revenge for Manny by basically getting Peter drunk and getting him a weird picture and basically sending the whole school to get revenge on him. Unfortunately, though, Emma looks at the pictures and basically can't help but be around Peter. And it doesn't also help that Peter actually woos her. And I mean, Peter, I think, had a hand saying that Manny was scum and all that, and convincing Emma that Manny is scum and all that. So basically, Emma basically goes with Peter in secret. She actually wants to have a liaison with Peter. But at the same time, they actually find out that Hatzalakos and Snake were having a secret liaison of their own. So basically, Emma is conflicted. Emma does the right thing by saying something, but Spike is more upset with Snake over the fact that he begged Emma not to tell anyone than his priest. I know it was an innocent kiss, but I mean, forcing Emma to keep a secret, Emma couldn't keep a secret and all that. Which is weird because she was keeping a secret of her own. Basically, she was with Peter. Unfortunately, Emma catches on to an eating disorder. I still say Manny is partially to blame for that because Manny said that helped me lose weight, and then Emma does it with her, and then Emma gets upset when Manny starts eating again. So practically, you got yourself a big problem. I mean, Peter is with Emma, and Manny ends up telling the whole school about it. I think she basically said that she did it because why would Emma's falling apart and needs help. So Emma basically still has the eating disorder. Peter is even worried about the eating disorder. And that's one good thing about Peter is that at least he recognized that Emma had an eating disorder and needed to get help. Of course, Emma blows off at Peter saying that you take advantage of drunk chicks, that being Manny, and tells Manny, you're that drunk chick, and then basically tells Snake off by saying that, and if I'm wrong, you made up with his mother. Unfortunately, though, Emma gets a panic-induced heart attack and basically goes to the hospital. So basically, Peter actually does good with Emma and actually helps her out. And they're a couple again. In season 6, we see this. But unfortunately, this is where point number 3 happens, framing Sean with drugs. So basically, Sean somehow, in some way, without warning, pops up out of nowhere. And now Emma has to decide who she wants to be with, Sean or Peter. Peter doesn't seem worried about it, but Manny does tell Peter about the fact that Sean and Emma have been on again and off again and all that. So basically, Peter's a little bit worried. Emma decides to have a liaison with Sean. Geez, she never learned from last season. So basically, yeah. And Peter demands to know if Emma has feelings for Sean or not. She said maybe, maybe not. So Peter, in an attempt to win Emma from Sean, decides to plant drugs in Sean's locker and get himself expelled. Well, that works. But Sean wants to go after Peter, saying that let's have some kind of competition that your mom doesn't get involved in. So they decide a street race. Jay helps plan it, and they do okay in the street race. But unfortunately, Sean hits the pedestrian. Peter has problems. Jay tells tells Sean to run because Sean is facing serious jail time. Peter is a minor and might get off the hook. Yeah, Jay was no help. I mean, I know he wanted to help Sean, but he forcibly told Sean to run away, and then Sean got in trouble for failing to be at the scene of an accident. Smart move, Jay. Fuck off. So anyway, so Peter gets off in the next episode with community service and all that, thanks to Peter's dad. Privileged much, Peter? So basically, yeah, Peter and Emma, their relationship still is around, but Peter says it's threatened because now he has to have house arrest, and Emma feels it's unfair and all that. That type of behavior, that the fact that she is closely being with Peter and all that, worries Jay and Manny. They both decide to teach Emma the lesson about jumping to conclusions. So basically, what ends up happening is that they manage to get Emma to realize that Peter was the scumbag and all that, especially at the masquerade dance when it was learned when Emma learned that he put a mask in her locker, and he says, "Doesn't that raise red flags?" Emma's like, "Wait a minute." Emma demands Peter to tell her everything. And unfortunately, Peter does. Well, Peter basically says that, yeah, of course I framed Sean. I had to do it. And then Emma says, why? For the relationship. Emma then, rightfully so, tears Peter a new strip, saying that basically, when I'm in the hallway, don't look at me. When you see me, look away. Don't come anywhere near me. We're through. And Peter gets in trouble for breaking house arrest. Although he probably might have said that to his mom or Hassel that Emma put him up to it. I think Emma deserves some blame in that. I mean, convincing Peter to leave for house arrest? I don't think so. So anyway, Peter wants to rebound. So he finds Darcy, who was just dumped by a spinner for being hypocritical. Peter takes advantage of Darcy and all that. And that's where number 5 comes in, with getting Darcy to send videos to that creepy Adams. And videos and photos. I think it was just photos. I think I fucked up on that method. But anyway, why I say this is that because, saying something, a nice guy by Adams likes Darcy's pictures. Did Peter not realize he was a creep? Did Peter not realize that was just terrible? And did he not realize that he could have got in a whole lot of shit? Peter, of course, he wasn't thinking about that. Why would Peter do that? Especially if that guy had an attraction towards Darcy, then he'll probably feel threatened that Adams will go after Darcy instead of him. I don't know about Peter. That was just terrible. And I mean, Peter and Darcy were still a couple in season 7, even after that horrific storyline. I mean, like, how the hell is Darcy still with Peter? Regardless of what ends up happening, Darcy ends up going with Peter on a ski vacation. I know that Peter was not really in Darcy's family's good books, but I mean, when you look at it, at least he wanted to take care of her. Sadly, though, it all falls apart after Darcy gets raped and all that, and basically Darcy goes off the rails and all that. I feel a little bit for Peter, but I mean, like, to the point that, he just wants a relationship. So he goes after Mia, and basically is upset that Mia is told by... No, sorry. When he goes after Darcy, he's upset that both Emma and Manny were talking to Darcy about how scum Peter is and all that. And then Peter and Mia, and then it's like, hey, you know what? This could work with Peter and Mia. But Mia wants to go to Paris for modeling. Peter wants to be there for her. Peter also has the issue of the fact that he might have to move because his mom or Hatzalakos will now have to take care of her ailing mother in Regina. So thus Peter would have to move to Saskatchewan. He doesn't want to leave Toronto with his friends and all that. So he tries to get his dad to help him out. But his dad refused to do anything about it, saying that we have a new kid. Well, with his secretary or the one he cheated on. So basically he said that, sorry, buddy, I just can't do it. He does give Peter some positive saying that, hey, Regina's home to the CFL. Maybe we could catch an Argos game. Nah. So Peter demands that Danny talk to his dad about emancipation. And he kind of did get emancipated in a sense, but his dad paid for an apartment basically for Peter to live in Toronto, to stay in Toronto. At least his dad did that for him. But unfortunately, Peter becomes a shadow of himself and basically takes meth after realizing he needs to lighten up with the fact that Mia's modeling career. Sadly, though, Peter gets a drug addiction and Mia goes to Paris. And then wow, we see Hatzalako's back in that one. Basically, she has to run back to Toronto to be with Peter and basically tells Peter you shouldn't be drug addicted because the next fall you're going to rehab and it's not going to be pretty. So basically, Hatzalakos stays for a season and then gives the school to Simpson. Peter does make some appearances in season 10 and then like random appearances after that. But I mean, and you can tell that he's basically calmed down as a character. Like he's not as mean as we all think he is. I think it was just his character development. I think when he got older, he developed more maturity and all that. Yeah, of course, we obviously should be angry at him for what he did to Manny, what he kind of did to Emma, and what he did to Darcy and Mia. But I mean, he thought he needed to be the anti hero. What was wrong with being a hero? He would have been more sympathetic. But, well, I think Peter is not the worst male character in Degrassi history. But he could have been. If it wasn't for his redemption song, in a sense, I think he would have been one of the worst ever. And we all could hate him a whole lot more. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. There'll be more case studies to come in the weeks ahead. Goodbye.